What's up everyone, Jason here at Canyon Adventure Vans. So today I'm going to show you how to install our 3.0 GLSS onto the garage slide out deck. All of our decks, if you don't have the Inhabit floor mat on, have all this lasered cut out L-track, and it gives us a great easy way to mount things to it, right? So super simple. So today we are going to mount the new 3.0 GLSS and by using these studs, the nuts. Because we have an Inhabit mat, we're going to need a razor blade to cut, and then also somewhere in here some type of little, this is a little drill bit, but some type of little something small that we can line everything up, poke it through here, and then know where we have to make a little plus sign. Okay, so come over here, let's grab these three items first. If you can come over here and look at this, inside the GLSS 3.0 we'll have a bracket here, and basically this is right in front of the little access door. And then we'll also have an L bracket here behind the microwave that bolts down. So typically if you don't have the mat, you would just line it up to the L track and then bolt it down. But because we have the mat, we have to figure out where to cut that little hole. So the other note is when you install your GLSS 3.0, you want to slide it all the way back so it's at the very end of the garage slide out deck, and you also want to slide it all the way to this side where it's butting up against these bolts and nuts on the interior of the garage slide out deck. And once you get it there, you should be good to go. You want to line up this bracket to the actual cutout underneath the garage slide out deck. And if it's not lined up perfectly, you can take your hex wrench, loosen it up a little bit, and slide this bracket to wherever it is so it's centered over those cutouts. And that goes for the same for this one back here. For the purpose of this video, to make it go a little quicker, I already lined this up perfectly with the L-track cutout underneath. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to take this little drill bit and I want to push it through, which I just did. So now it's pushed all the way through. So I know where to mark it and where to cut it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that little drill. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to leave that little drill bit in there. I'm not going to leave it too high, but just high enough where I can pick this end up and move it out of the way. So now I can come back in here. I can see where this drill bit is, and now I can make a razor blade cut, and I can make a little plus cut where that is, okay? So I'm just gonna go like this. I'm gonna cut it this way. Now I know where it's at. I can cut that right there. And then I can take my stud, let me reach over here, grab one of these studs, and I can find that spot that I just cut, just like that, okay? So there it is. So that's what you want to do. And the reason we do a little plus, we take this razor blade and we just do a little plus in it, is that way when, if you ever take this off, which the whole purpose of everything we do is modular, if you want to take the GLSS 3.0 off for a certain trip because you got a bunch of bikes, a bunch of gear, etc., pop it right off, but your mat still works. And look, there's no hole. The hole's gone. So it all closes up perfect. So you don't have a bunch of holes in your Inhabit mat. So that's the key why we do the plus instead of drilling it out or just actually cutting out a notch. All right, let me get this back in here. Okay. So I won't put it all the way through. We'll go like that. If you can see that up here, I left it down so I can slide this bracket over here now. Okay, so now I know where this is at. I can actually slide this, put it right back to the position it was supposed to be in. Perfect. And now I can come over here and do the same process for this one. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to take this hole, I'm going to puncture it just like that. Okay. I'm going to push this down as far as I can, and now I'm going to lift this up and get it out of the way. And then somewhere in here, there it is. There's my drill bit. So now I know where to mark this hole. So I'll come in here, cut my hole, little plus sign, done. Keep that there so I know where it's at. Let me grab the other stud. Push that through. Everything's good. Okay, now I'm going to push it down just a little bit, just so it's flush, as you can see. So now I have it here and I have it there. Now I can slide this back to where it needs to go. And now everything is lined up. So now that it's all lined up, all I have to do is take this stud that I just put in here and push it all the way through. And then I'll grab my nut, get both of them, hold that, put the nut on there. Get that hand tightened down. Let me do the same thing here. I'll push this up. Get that started. So now when we tighten this, I'm gonna have to put my hand in here and kind of hold one end. Not a big deal. Let's get it started though. Okay. All right, so now it's in place. I'm happy with it. It's all lined up. It's nice and squared. Looks good. Okay, so now, typically for us, we'll use the impact wrench and really knock this down really quick, but in this area right here, we can't get to that because of the microwave. So I'll start right here, tighten this one down. Okay. Get that tightened down. Actually, so I want to show you something. If you can look under here, see how our little stud fell in the groove? You don't want that. So I'm going to back that off. I want to turn it like that. So I need to hold that while I tighten this thing down so it'll stay in that spot. Otherwise you hit some bumps, it's just going to pop right off. You don't want that. Okay, so I'll hold that. Tighten it down, and now you can take a look at it, and that's what we want. And that's very secure, locked down to the garage slide out deck. Now on this one, we're going to do the same thing, except I'm going to go by hand. I'm going to turn it that way. And then lock that down. So now you got both sides locked down. This isn't going anywhere. It's pretty much permanent to the garage slide out deck. But if you ever want to take it off, that's what the great part about it is all you'd have to do is take off those two nuts, and then you can take your GLSS 3.0 out, put it in the garage, and now you've freed up all the space on your garage slide out deck. So once you get done with that, then you'll have two plugs that'll plug into the back, and you'll plug in to that outlet right there. I suggest that you get an extension cord, so that way when you do plug it in there, you get a flat extension cord that plugs in there flat, and then your microwave and your electrical outlet here plug into that extension cord. So that way when you're bringing this thing in and out, you're not pulling the cords out because this cord wouldn't be long enough to plug in. So get yourself a flathead extension cord, a flat face, and then that way you can slide this thing in and out. Okay, so then the next step, now that I have that bolted down, also too, just a note, the guys put the keys to the safe right here as well. So all you would have to do is take this little key chain ring, this little key ring right here, pull that off of there, and then you'll need these keys to get in and set your code for the safe, which you see there's the safe right here. Okay, so you'll need that. You'll have your electrical outlet for this plug here, and then your other electrical outlet for the microwave. So that part's done. I'm done back there. Now, the next step for me would be, let's put the cushion on. Thank you, Cecil. Excellent. All right, with the cushion, it's designed where your butt sits on the larger part here, the gray area, and not this way. Okay, so when you're setting that up, put that on there. These are all cushions that are made by our master upholsterer at Canyon Adventure Vans now. We start making our cushions in-house. We use the finest fabric. You don't see any staples. Everything is protected underneath. We use these little rubber feet all on all the corners to lock it in, so when you're driving, it doesn't bounce around and fall off. And it just sits right in place. You'll feel it lock in, just like that. And that's it. So it can't move or slide off when you're driving. And then the next step is, once that part is done, the next step is we'll put the lagoon leg and then the lagoon arm and then the bamboo table on top of that. But you have a drawer with this system. You have your hidden safe. You have an access door here. You'll have an additional plug on top, so you don't have to fight and try to get to the one in the back. You'll have a microwave. You'll also have a little drawer that slides out for a cutting board and a little secret stash spot that you can put silverware, whatever you want to put in there. So a really cool little setup that the guys designed. It just slides right in. It has a leather handle. It has a locking mechanism on there where it's soft close. And that's pretty much it. So let's do the lagoon leg and arm. And this will go just like so. And I'd also like to make one more note before we put this on. You kind of lose the door. There's no reason to have the door here, but there is that little pocket in the revel back here. Just a little pocket back there that you can hide stuff. So if you ever want to keep stuff, any valuables hidden back there, you can do that. And what you would do is when this slides in, you would just pop this off, open the door, pull the drawer out, and you would have access to that cubby hole. So just a little nice little sneak feature in there. And then this basically will slide just like this. I usually like it about right level here. That's about the right height for me. Slide this down. This is like a ratchet style, right? So if this is sticking out and your leg or pant leg can get caught on it, all you do is take this and you can just put it in any position you want, right? If it's over here, you're like, oh, I can't open my door. You're just straight up and then down, okay? And then you can adjust it, and that goes for the same thing on all these. You can kind of move them out of the way. You wouldn't want this to be like this where you can get caught on something. You would want to take it and push it away, okay? And then the next step is the bamboo table. Thank you, Cecil. And that goes in here like so. Drops right down into place. You can kind of tighten it up a lot or a little bit. And if you notice on our table, there's a wedge right here. There's a purpose to that, is because these little lagoon systems are pretty incredible and very versatile, but they're really made for a small little table. And that doesn't really work with our GLSS system. So we wanted to do a larger table, and to be able to do that, it would start leaning a little bit to in the front. So we put those wedges in, so that way it levels the whole thing out. And that's it. You can adjust it. You can bring it out here. You're hanging out, drop it down, have your drinks and snacks on there. When you're driving, and even when you want to go to bed at night, all you have to do is lower this. Just like that, the bed will go all the way down. Unless you have bed risers, you will never have to lower it. You can just leave it, but you never have to take this off and store it anywhere. That's it right there. You would just lock it down. Your bed would come down as normal, no big deal. You come back here, all you do is slide this up to your desired height, lock it down, and that's it. And then when you're driving, what I like to do is put it right over the seat. I have access to the hallway. I crank these down. Again, I pull that out. I can crank it down, pull it out, and push it in there. Do the same thing here, crank it down. And that way when I'm driving, my table's not swinging all the way around in the back end of the van. So that's how you install the GLSS 3.0. We've already pre-installed the GLSS passenger side on another video. So from here on forward, we're going to go to that other video so you can see how to install the GLSS passenger side. There's one little trick to this on this side, is over there I told you to go all the way tight, all the way back this way, all the way tight, but on this one you're going to move it in about a 1/2 inch. So you want about a 1/2 inch gap in here, and the reason being is we are doing a water station cover on here. So for this to clear the water station cover when you slide it in and out, we need to move this off. It's not the perfect scenario to have a 1/2 inch gap, not a big deal. We can't make this any smaller because of the faucet right here. So it's the only way that we can do it is by creating this and moving it a 1/2 inch. If you do not have a water station cover, then you can bring it all the way back, okay? All right, so same tools. We'll start right here. Poke a hole. Okay. I'm gonna lift it up and over that. I'm gonna grab my razor. I'm gonna make a little plus sign just right there. I'm gonna make a little plus sign right there. Okay. Now I should be able to take this. Let's see, where was I? Where was I? Slide that like that. Cross that. I'll lift this up. Drop that down. Grab a lock nut. Hold this. Let's just get it started so it doesn't move on us. Perfect. Let's go over here. We'll do the same thing. Make sure that I'm even. I don't want a little gap here and a big gap here. I want a consistent 1/2 inch gap. Grab my little drill bit, find my marker. Boom, there it is. Try to pick this up. Slide it over just enough. So here's my little drill bit. I know where my little cross has to be. All right. Same thing this way. Okay. Grab the stud. Put that in there. Okay, I'll lift this up. Drop it down. Grab my nut. All right. Pretty easy. And before I tighten it down, I just want to make sure I got my space that I need. I like that. It's all the way up the end here. Now I'm ready to go. I can hand tighten these and then I can get the ratchet and finish it up. Okay. We'll start on this one. Again, we want to make sure this is running across. Same thing over here. Run these across. Okay, that's it. This thing's locked down. All right, now that I have the passenger side, same thing, beautiful cushion. This is the seat part. This little angle part is the part that goes up in front here. So when you're walking into the garage area, you have a nice angle and a nice transition back into the garage. So I'll put that right here. Lock that in place, just like so. Make sure those feet are seated. There we go. Now we can be completely done with this, but this customer wanted the daybed cushions that go in between. So we will put those on, and then we'll slide this in, and then we'll put the water station cover. Okay, so now that we got both the cushions on, now let's go ahead and place the daybed cushions in place. I'm gonna slide this out to give me a little more room to work. We're gonna supply you with 8 of these daybed clips. And essentially how that works, is these are gonna slip right over the top here. So I'll slide this in. I'm gonna drop it right down there. I'll do another one about line it up with this cushion so it's not halfway, but it's in here. I'll match it over on this side. Okay, and then I'll put the other one right at the end, right there. Okay, then I'm gonna take this cushion. It won't fit this way, so there's only one way that it'll go in. We like to have our label on one end. You can put it on the other end if you like. And these will just slide right in like that. Nice and clean and tight. Okay, let's do the others. So same thing, kind of lift this up, put that right there. This one I want to line up more over here because it's going to line up with the shorter side. Put this up, bring that right there. Okay. Thank you, sir. And then we'll drop this right in. And then now you have a full-on daybed lounge that you can hang out on in the van. And what's great is a lot of people will just leave it like this. It gives you more storage in here underneath. You have all the storage on both sides. Another little key trick to this whole thing is when you're in the van, you take this one out, you take your daybed clips off, and you have a little U-shaped seating area. So one person could sit here and do work. The other person can lounge on this side or vice versa. But if it's a rainy day, you don't want to walk around outside, so you just walk right into here. So it makes it really nice. You can also, if you really love these things and don't ever want to take them off, you can screw them right in as well. We put holes in the bottom of the clips. So there it is. That is how you install the GLSS with the daybed system in the garage slide out deck. Very similar to inside the van, but this particular video is if you got this and you want to install it on your deck. Again, if you already have a GLSS and you want to install it on your deck, not a big deal. Your door is going to hit because you have a bigger door, but no big deal. You have access here, you have access here. that's no reason for you to go buy another GLSS. So you're good to go. Next thing, so this is all done. What's the very last thing we got to do? We'll put our lagoon table on here. So we got a bamboo table, a lagoon leg, and a lagoon arm. And then that way you can sit back here and eat, play games, put your drinks on there, and that really finishes the whole thing off. So let me go get those pieces and we'll finish this install. So that's it. Let's put this bad boy in and check it out. So you got tons of storage, you got another place to hang out and sit in your van. It makes your van so much bigger. I can come in here, again, if I just want to hang out, put some pillows back here, a blanket, read a book, have a drink, eat, whatever, I can just kind of hang out. Even if I just want to sit here and work on my laptop, take in the views, this system really works well. I found that if you don't use these daybed cushions, you'll probably never use them. Like if you don't leave them in place, and if they're just sitting on the ends, you'll probably rarely use them as much as you thought you would. So I would suggest either leaving them in all the time or at least leaving one of them in. So maybe leaving one at home. That way you don't have to store it coming in. And you can pop the other ones out so you don't hit your leg on it. But what's nice about this is I can sit here. I can still have a place that I can eat, work, do my thing here, or vice versa, flip it over. But if it's raining out, it just gives me a place to hang out, or again, another place to lounge here, just like this. But the best spot, and I'm just showing you all the different options, the best spot, honestly, is this right here. And when we designed the daybed cushions back in early 2020 during the pandemic, it was meant more like this, that I could sit here and have a table. I can look at killer views at the beach. We live close to Santa Monica, and I could sit here and work, get on my laptop, and have a great killer breeze coming through the van, great views, hanging out. But the idea was I can also chill right here and have a nice little lounge. And maybe it's your partner that's over here working, sitting here, working, eating, doing whatever, while the other person takes a little nap, reads a book right here. So it's a beautiful setup. But again, I think if your cushions are off, you're probably never going to use them. So maybe it's a good idea to bring at least one of them with you and just leave it on all the time. But hopefully you like this content. This is the installation of a GLSS on the garage slide out deck. You saw how easy it is. It's modular. That's the whole purpose of most all of our products. Every trip changes. There might be a trip where I just want to put a bunch of camping gear for the kids, the grandkids, whatever. I don't want the bench seats. I take them out, I leave them at home, and I load the garage up full of all my camping gear and just gear. So it just gives you that flexibility. If you like this content, if you like this install, hit that like button, subscribe, shoot us a comment down below. We're trying to create really valuable content that's less based on selling stuff, but more just educational. We want our customers to be educated when they get our products. They already know how to install them, put them together, but also we want you to be able to make really good decisions on what you purchase when you're upfitting your van, so you're not wasting your money as well. So hopefully this helps. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook at Canyon Adventure Vans, our website canyonadventurevans.com. You can email us info@canyonadventurevans. We're here to help. We're here to be a part of the community and service this community. So thank you for watching. We'll continue to put out killer content for you, and we'll see you on the next video.